The Benton County Government Center in Foley consists of a collection of older public buildings, ranging from the original Benton County Courthouse finished in 1901, an annex completed in 1974, and a final section added in 1981 that originally served as the Sheriff's Office and County Jail. Today, the 1981 Law Enforcement Addition serves as the County Administration Offices and County Boardroom. The County Boardroom used to be the County Jail. The University of Minnesota Extension Service occupies the lower level of the administration building. Other departments now housed in the Government Center include Human Services and Public Health in the old 1901 Courthouse, Auditor-Treasurer, DMV and Elections, Planning and Zoning, Recorder and Assessor all share the 1974 Annex addition. You may be asking what's driving the need for a new, larger government center. Benton County is a growing county. The U.S. Census estimates the county's current population at 41,600. That's up from 34,300 in the 2000 census, an increase of 7,300 people. Meeting the service demands of a growing county sometimes requires more staff. Currently, approximately 160 employees utilize the Government Center complex. That's up 30 employees over the past decade. Remote work has helped alleviate space shortages, but most remote workers follow a hybrid schedule and still need office space in the Government Center. The Benton County Board has been studying the office space and considering options for just over a year and a half, using the assistance of the St. Cloud architectural firm GLT Architects. The board seriously considered renovating and expanding on the existing Government Center site. That study effort revealed many challenges with the old buildings, such as aging and inefficient mechanical systems, many of which are original equipment in these buildings, decaying interiors and exteriors, accessibility or ADA challenges requiring expensive renovations, multiple entrances leading to customer confusion and limiting our ability to conduct any form of security screening, inadequate and inefficient space for elections and elections equipment storage, and an extremely vulnerable computer data center that could be lost if a water-filled sprinkler system was set off by a fire. We spoke with county department heads who manage elections and information technology to get a better understanding of the challenges they face. Let's first hear from County Auditor-Treasurer Christine Scherbing on elections.
Staff needs to transport a lot of election equipment across the parking lot, and we have multiple cases of poll pads, omni ballots, the central count machine, and a lot of times it's very hard to get it through snow, rain, wind, the typical Minnesota elements. We have about $400,000 worth of election equipment, so it's a very expensive trip across the parking lot. The space that we have our equipment in right now is the old highway engineer's office, which is a small office. It's tight spaces to get in there, in and out. Doorways are small, cramped. We need to share the space with care, so it's just getting in and out of there when it's most convenient so that we're not interrupting their day as well. The design of the new building is just perfect for elections. We will have a election room attached to the Auditor Treasurer's office, which will allow us to have all of the equipment right in our office, which is where we need it because of all of the testing we need to do prior to the elections. It will be nice to just have a room to do that testing in and not hauling stuff across the parking lot. It's going to be safer for our staff because they won't be transporting it. It will be safer for all of our election judges and townships that have to come and pick up their equipment. They will be able to go to a garage and loading dock and back in out of the elements to pick up their equipment. So that will be a huge benefit. And then with the early voting, we'll be able to utilize the community room that will be in the new building to have early voting set up in there. And then we won't have to take over a boardroom or any other space. So it will be excellent for elections coming up. And the way the law is written, they keep changing election dates, times, requirements. So I think just the more space we're able to have will definitely benefit us.
One of the most serious concerns faced by the county is the state of the existing computer data center. We asked County IT Director Steve Stang to discuss those concerns.
Power, cooling, and fire suppression. We have unique challenges in each of those areas. Power, for instance, is run on a generator that is about 30 years old. If we have a power outage in this building, the battery backup systems will take over to bridge the gap until the generator can kick in. The generator runs for about 6 to 8 hours before it needs to be fueled, which creates a challenge if the power goes out in the middle of the night or over a weekend to keep it running. If the data center loses power abruptly, we can experience corruption and potential data loss. All those systems are talking to each other in synchronization. They are meant to be shut down in order. So if they are abruptly shut down and we lose data or have corruption, it just takes that much longer to get the systems back up, which puts the county at a disadvantage in their ability to do business. That data center is the primary location for all of our telecommunications, applications, database servers, and security systems. It's kind of the heart of the IT operations. Things that are running in there are like our financial systems, our DMV and HS operations run through there as well. The second one is environmental controls, cooling. The current AC unit that's in there is about 35 years old. It only provides cool air, it doesn't manage humidity. So when the seasons and temperatures change in Minnesota, we have a bit of humidity in there. That room is separated into 2 separate rooms, so it's a challenge to keep the other room cool. There's a giant hole in the ceiling with a fan in it that's on a thermal switch. So when that room gets warm, that fan turns on and blows the air up into the ceiling to try to keep both rooms cool. So that's definitely a challenge for us. If systems do get too warm, they will shut down and cause some of the data corruption issues that I was speaking about before. And that it takes longer for us to get it up and running and will impede the county's ability to do business. Servicing the air conditioner is also a challenge. The data center is located on the 2nd floor and it's mounted on the outside of the building. So they had to build a deck for technicians to get up there and service it, which is somewhat of a challenge for them, especially in the winter. The third and probably most critical part of a data center is the fire suppression systems. Currently we have water sprinklers in there. They are activated when there's heat. If they activate or a head breaks or rusts off, we could be looking at a total loss in that data center with all the equipment being wet. If that happens, we could be down for weeks rebuilding everything from scratch. You know, people often think about a disaster being something physical like a tornado or a hurricane or a flood. If the water sprinklers go off in that data center, it could be as bad or worse. Modern data centers use a fire suppression system that releases a gas in the room, and it basically takes the oxygen out of the room, so it puts the fires out and limits the damage to all the equipment. That room is not designed for a system like that due to it not being airtight and the way that it's separated into 2 rooms. The cold storage room that we store our sensitive equipment in, it's not temperature controlled. It gets very cold in there in the winter and very hot in there in the summer. Depending on the time of year, when we bring equipment out of there to bench it and set it up, we have to wait for the equipment to get back to room temperature before we can use it. The current space the data center resides in was never meant to be a data center. It organically grew into what it is just by a means of necessity. If we were to build a new data center, we would build it with all the critical functions we would need: power, cooling, and fire suppression. And we would also size it with a generator that can handle the load and be more reliable.
The county board asked its construction manager, Contegrity, to estimate the cost to renovate and expand to meet space needs on the existing government center site. Contegrity estimated the cost to be $23 million. With that estimate in hand, the county board chose instead to go with new construction as the best long-term solution. As you will see later in our open house presentation, a new government center designed to be customer-focused will address the challenges faced in the existing buildings. Now, let's hear from Benton County Commissioners Steve Heinen and Scott Johnson.
The county board understands that a new government center is a major expense to our county, but we also know that we must do something. We are maxed out of space. We have very old buildings that need substantial improvements. We could spend $23 million and still have all of the limitations imposed by the old buildings. It would remain an odd collection of several additions and multiple entrances, missing the opportunity to create better service for our customers and improve security for our employees.
The county invested substantial resources in its law enforcement and criminal justice systems when it built the new sheriff's office, jail, and courts facility 25 years ago. Those buildings have long been paid for, leaving the county with very little debt. In fact, we are down to just one remaining road bond that will be paid off in about 4 years. Little has been done to take care of the space needs of the functions that reside on the buildings of the government center. We as a county board believe the time has arrived to take action and prepare our county to serve our residents with an efficient and modern government center for decades to come. The county board often gets questions about what the county intends to do with its existing government center buildings. The county board believes a viable reuse plan is important. As we've been planning for a new government center over the past year and a half, we have explored potential occupants, including a nonprofit dental clinic or a medical clinic, both focused on serving low-income residents. We've also had discussions with a local senior services provider about expanded services here in Foley. If we do move out of our current government center, we want to be certain what follows in that space are services needed by our community. We also want a good neighbor for the county just across the street and a positive presence for the city of Foley.
Taxpayers may be wondering about the property tax effect of a new government center. We asked our bond advisor to calculate potential impacts, assuming a 20-year bond. On a medium-valued residential homestead, the annual tax impact is $102. On a medium-valued commercial or industrial property, the annual tax impact is $160. For farmland valued at $3.5 million, the tax impact is 83 cents per acre. Aging buildings require ongoing maintenance and repair. Industry standards tell us we should be setting aside funds equal to 1% to 4% of a building's value for maintenance and repair each year. For our existing government center, that means budgeting between $185,000 and $741,000 per year, or an average of $463,000 per year to keep our buildings functional and safe. After a year and a half of careful study, the county has reached the conclusion that investing in a new government center is a more responsible solution than putting substantial resources into aging and inefficient buildings. The county's original 1901 courthouse and its additions have served the county well, but buildings wear and become less efficient, just like a plow truck or any other major asset, reaching a point where continued investment in that aging asset no longer can be justified. The county will be conducting tours of the government center on April 16th and May 6th, both starting at 4 p.m. and running until 6 p.m. each day. Staff will guide the tours throughout the buildings. The county hopes that this presentation, plus the opportunity for in-person tours, demonstrates our commitment to be as open as possible with our residents. If you would like to view this video again or share it, we have placed it for downloading on the county website. You will find a link on the county homepage. Thank you for watching.